You think you're unstoppable alone? Real success is found in collaboration with others. After losing my father when I was just 14 years old, I quickly realized that I was going to need the help of other people. My mom was working hard to provide for 4 kids and just didn't have enough time to fill all of the needs that her 3 boys and 1 daughter had. And so luckily, I was surrounded by some of my dad's friends who really took a liking to me and really stepped in and mentored me. And I want to also just say shout out to Scott Galloway. I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but this video was inspired by conversations that he's had about the influence of other people that have had on his life and the influence that men can have on young men's life or boys' life. And so in today's world, this has been a little bit, I don't know, it's been tainted a little bit. Scott Galloway, he's not afraid to spice it up a little bit. He blames the Catholic Church and Michael Jackson, which I totally understand. And what he means by that is there's been a persona around certain topics and around certain activities. And so sometimes we get shy about like stepping into a young person's life and helping them. Obviously, we're not talking about doing inappropriate things, but there's so much need for young men, and there's an influence, there's a void of influence. And so in that void, you get, cigar smoking, fancy car, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. I love all that. But what you want is someone that can also be down to earth and someone that can speak personally to that person. And I understand that that could also be a privilege that not everyone has. I was very fortunate, and I recognize that I had good people around me that maybe not other people have. Maybe you're not growing up in an environment where there's just a handful of men who are willing and have the time to pour into you. And so in those cases, my heart really goes out for those individuals because it's not an easy path. And so I like what Seth Godin has to say about this. Mentors are not available to everyone, but everyone can have a hero. Find people that are respectable, and maybe that's a pastor. Maybe it's someone in the synagogue. Maybe it's a teacher at the school. Maybe it's a coach. Maybe it's a musician that you're learning from. Whatever hobby that you have, try to find someone who is not perfect, but has their life organized, knows how to demonstrate what real masculinity is. And that, in my book, is someone who provides and protects. And so treats the people that are less fortunate the same and helps lift them up. And so that's really what has inspired this talk. So I wanted to talk about specifically 3 different people that have inspired me and that have played a big role in my life. And the goal of talking about these people is that you might say, oh, I know a coach, or I know a teacher, or I know a business person, or I have a family member. And so hopefully one of these 3 people will maybe give you an idea of someone that is in your life that you can learn from. So I grew up, my mom making $14,000, $15,000 a year with 4 kids, and we were poor. And now I make a fantastic living, and we're able to help support my mom, me and my brother. It's just a fantastic life that we've built, and we're able to do incredible things. But it would not be possible without the people that have rallied around me and my family and helped us be successful. So first off, I'm going to talk about a coach. And coach doesn't really do it justice because he's more like a father to me. His name is Steve. Steve is a high school coach. He's also a local business owner in my hometown. And he was the man that stepped in almost immediately after my father passed away. He gave me a job at his local store, and he taught me how to do business. He taught me how to be a man. He taught me how to be a father. He taught me how to be a husband. He taught me how to work hard. He really taught me just about everything that I know. My father did a lot and began a lot of that stuff, but I was 14, so he didn't finish any of it. And so there was a lot of finishing that needed to be done. And I still have a great relationship with Steve today. He is one of my dearest and closest friends who I love more than anyone. And I'm so fortunate to have someone like that. Hey, just a quick pause. Thanks for watching. I'm Adam Robinson. I run the Dyslexic Hustle. If you want to support us, please subscribe. I've had other men who played a similar role that I'm not as close to. So maybe you have someone in your life that you are learning from, but you're like, man, I don't feel the connection. I don't feel like I'm going to have this lifelong bond. That's okay. Learn what you can. Some relationships are for a season and some relationships are for a lifetime. And regardless of which one it is, you can still learn a lot right now. And what you may find is that they have very specific skill set or a very specific knowledge base that will help you in the season of life that you're in right now. So take advantage of those opportunities. When I say take advantage, one thing I always talk about when I'm talking to someone who's trying to be mentored, I've had this conversation with my own son, is don't ask for things, ask for knowledge, learn. Don't try to take position or resources, but see where you can add value and just try to be as close to that person as you can. It's the old sports analogy. When you're close to the ball, close to the puck, that's where the action is. That's where you're going to learn. That's where you're going to learn the techniques and learn how to advance down the field. And so just be close to what's going on and work hard. Maybe you have to, do like an apprenticeship for free. And maybe you have to, do Uber on the weekend or work nights so that you can learn as much as you can from that person in the time that they have available for you. All right, so next we have another special person too, is my brother. My brother has played a very significant role in my life, and it's been interesting. It's evolved through the years. We've had seasons where we're really close. We've had seasons when we're not as close, but we've always maintained a good relationship. And my brother has been someone that has a great work ethic. And so I feel like I've been surrounded by people who know how to work hard. And if I had one skill that I would want to teach anyone, it's to work hard. The second skill would be learn. Learn and work hard, and you can accomplish anything. And I think my brother has demonstrated both of those skills very, very well throughout his life. So he is honestly one of the greatest people in my life and has just played a very significant role in my personal development, in my business development. So look around and see, do you have an uncle? Do you have a brother? Do you have a cousin? Do you have the neighbor who you call Uncle John, or someone that's just a close family friend that you can spend time with and learn everything you can? One of the things that you can do in those relationships as well is be observant and see, oh, I really like that. I like how they talk to their wife, but I don't like how they do this. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to learn what not to do, but I'm also going to learn what to do. And you can really navigate and learn how to grow and how things will slow you down. All right, so the last person that I wanted to talk about, and there's been a lot of people that have helped and influenced my life, but I just kind of pulled out three that I felt were the most impactful in the past decade or so, is a good friend of mine, Brian. Brian is a brilliant man. He's got a master's in business. He runs several businesses. He's also a professor, teaches entrepreneurship. He actually started that after I began my relationship with him. I met him through the construction world. And one of the great things about this relationship is we weren't family friends. It was kind of unique. It was a relationship that I had kind of developed. We lived in a small town, so my brother knew him as well, but wasn't close to him. I developed a relationship with him kind of independently, and through the years we became friendly, and then we became friends. And I reached out to him and said, hey, I'm going to Colorado. I'm going to be starting a business. I would love some mentorship. And it actually came out, it was kind of funny. He was telling me about someone that was mentoring him and how he kind of approached that. And I was like, I love this. I want this. And then I turned it around on him and was like, will you mentor me? And funny enough, he was like, I don't know if I have time for that. And then he realized, he's like, I should do this because I'm being mentored and I should probably mentor someone else. I don't know if that was exactly his thought process, but I'm sure that was somewhere in the back of his mind. But it was pretty straightforward. We met once a month. I think maybe every other week for a long time. And then I think it moved to like once a month, and then it kind of faded to where we're not really meeting regularly, but we talk a couple times a year. We're still good friends, but we live on opposite sides of the country. But it was great because he was farther along than I was, and he was able to identify mistakes that I could make or I was making very easily, because standing on the outside, he's like, oh, I've done this and I've done that, and you shouldn't do that, or you should do this. And he was able to very practically look at my business and help me and identify things that I could do better. There have been many people that have greatly impacted my life. My wife is a great person that has impacted my life in a great way. A lot of my current friends, just through conversations, all those relationships enrich and make my life better. So don't underestimate the impact of the people around you, but don't underestimate the impact that bad influences can have on you too. So if you're wanting to, get sober, you probably don't want to hang out in the bar. And if you're wanting to be successful and make a lot of money, you probably don't want to hang out with people that don't know how to manage money. Doesn't mean that you can't talk to them anymore, but you want to start aggregating and gathering around places and things that you want to be like. And so you do become like the people and the things that you hang around. A lot of my friends are very fit and healthy, and I wasn't much into working out and things like that. But over the past couple of years, I've started working out a lot. It's become one of my favorite things to do. I'm a little obsessed with it. And so not as obsessed as some people, but I'm still pretty obsessed with it. And so it's a great thing, because when you hang around healthy people, you become healthy. When you hang around people that are knowledgeable about finances, you become more knowledgeable about finances. And when you hang out with people who are compassionate and loving and kind, you become those things. Surround yourself with people that you want to be like and that inspire you to be a better version of yourself.